Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
And we are live at University Field on the campus of Hofstra University as it is game one of the Catholic League Championship Series with the defending champs, Kellenberg, ready to square off with St. Dominic here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And it is presented by Catholic Health as we thank our sponsor for this broadcast, and we welcome you in to the broadcast booth. Lance Meadow with you as Kellenberg is looking to defend its championship from a year ago. It won in walk-off fashion over Chaminade and now gets a rematch with St. Dominic. These teams met only a few days ago earlier in this tournament, and it was a 3-2 victory for Kellenberg. St. Dominic is tweaking its lineup, also a new pitcher that they're utilizing because they've played a lot more games than Kellenberg over the course of this tournament, including 2 victories over top overall seed St. Anthony's, which has been very impressive for Joe Fusco's squad, as St. Dominic will look to even the score with Kellenberg. So now let's toss it over for player introductions to the PA announcer, John Santamaria.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to University Field on the campus of Hofstra University for today's Nassau Suffolk Catholic High School Athletic Association Baseball Championship Game Number 1, featuring the St. Dominic's Bayhawks and the Kellenberg Firebirds. It is now time to meet the starting lineups. First for the St. Dominic's Bayhawks. Leading off, the second baseman, number 5, Dominic Muccia. Batting second, the center fielder, number 4, Christos Vangelatos. Batting third, the right fielder, number 11, Dylan Weinstein. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 12, Ray Kim. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 18, Tyler Camastro. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 21, Connor Ackerman. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 15, Christian Marino. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 55, Michael Scarry. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 1, Louis Gunaris. Correction, batting ninth, Louis Gunaris. And pitching, number 16, Kieran Dunn. The head coach of the Bayhawks is Joe Fusco. He's assisted by Dylan Icavone, Zach Badano, Steve Lee, and RJ Del Giorno. The athletic director at Kellenberg is the athletic director at St. Dominic's is Chris Muller. And now the starting lineup for the Kellenberg Firebirds. Leading off the center fielder, number 2, Joseph DeSanza. Batting second, the third baseman, number 27, Andrew Noe. Batting third, the first baseman, number 16, Jaden Valdez. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 24, Michael Cotto. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 3, Richard Lavaca. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 9, Justin Diaz. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 2, Nicholas Conway. Batting 8th, the second baseman, number 13, Anthony Cantara. And batting 9th, the left fielder, number 6, Gavin Langner. And on the mound, number 7, Kevin Prasio. The head coach of the Firebirds is Pat Miles. He's assisted by Doug Chaffee, Derek Foder, Jamie Loeb, and Matt Prokopowicz. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask everybody to please rise and put yourselves in the
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
And we are back here in Hempstead, New York on the Varsity Media Sports Network as we get ready for Game 1 of the Catholic League Championship Series between Kellenberg and St. Dominic. The Firebirds, the number 2 seed. The Bayhawks coming in as the 5th seed. They were the number 1 seed each of the last 2 years and failed to advance to the Championship Series. So a bit of an underdog story entering this year's tournament, whereas Kellenberg, one of the favorites, and they will not have to deal with number 1 seed St. Anthony's, as St. Dominic knocked them off not once, but twice, including once at Farmingdale State. So let's take you through the lineup for the road team. The Bayhawks, it'll be Dom Muccia, their second baseman, leading off. Chris Vangelatos is out in center field. He'll bat second. Dylan Weinstein is the right fielder. He's at the 3rd spot. Ray Kim is cleaning up, followed by Tyler Camastro at 1st. Connor Ackerman is the designated hitter. He'll hit 6th with Christian Moreno right behind him at 3rd. Mike Scarry in the 8th spot in catching. And Luca Norris will round out the starting 9, the left fielder. And they are going to have to solve the riddle of Kevin Prasio, the ace for Kellenberg. You see he's logged 39 innings on the season. He's 3-2 with a 2.87 ERA, a whip of 1.41, and 50 strikeouts. His last outing was the win over Holy Trinity. That was the first game of the tournament for Kellenberg as they cruised to an 11-1 victory. He went 5 2/3. He gave up 1 run. It was earned on 5 hits. The biggest challenge for him was the 5 walks that he had to pitch around. He did strike out 3, and then Chris Parisi, who started the next game against St. Dominic, that they won 3-2, finished it off after Prasio tossed 5 2/3. So Kellenberg has only played 2 games. St. Dominic has played 4, and that disparity gives Pat Miles, the head coach of the Firebirds, a little bit more wiggle room to turn back to his top pitcher, whereas Joe Fusco has had to use a number of other arms. So we're going to see Camastro and Ackerman, who are his top two pitchers, in the lineup as their two-way players, but they are not available to pitch today. However, Monday, when Game 2 is scheduled, and then Game 3, if necessary, will in all likelihood present opportunities for them to get back in the mix. So here we go as we get underway. Game 1 of the championship series on this Memorial Day weekend. Thanks so much for waking up early with us. A 9 a.m. first pitch. This game was originally scheduled to start at 1, then 10 a.m., and as they were monitoring Mother Nature, they decided the earlier the better, as there is a lot of rain in the forecast over the next 2 days, including Monday, but not as high of a percentage. Muccia, the second baseman, comes in batting .337 on the season. He is second on the team with 33 hits, and he has driven in 15 runs. He was 1 for 2 against Kellenberg last Monday, as he patiently awaits one in the strike zone. Muccia had been playing short, but he is back at second, and Ray Kim, who is dealing with forearm tendonitis, is now able to reclaim his normal spot as that one is popped up into center field, where DeSanza takes care of business and records the out. So here is the defensive alignment for the Firebirds. Noe, Lavaca, Cantera, and Valdez from left to right in the infield, with Cotto behind home plate, and then in the outfield, Langner, DeSanza, and Conway left, center, and right respectively. Here is Vangelatos, center fielder for the Bayhawks, a .265 hitter, 18 hits, 2 home runs, 13 RBI. The junior is one of their top defensive outfielders, who has made a number of splash plays during this tournament. And he normally comes in for Zach Cook, who took a hit to his helmet earlier in the tournament, but did get back up under his own power and was able to return the following game. So Joe Fusco mixes and matches both of those players in terms of in the field, DHing, and so forth. As the Bayhawks looking to get their first base runner on, and it is not going to happen with Vangelatos. He sits down swinging, and Pracio with his first K of the day after he had 3 in his last outing. And let's take another look, as you're going to see Pracio right over the plate, hooking up with Cotto, who does an outstanding job framing pitches. That is something that Pat Miles has been discussing with him over the course of this season. He is just a sophomore, and they are really excited about what he can do in the following 2 years. But his resume is impressive as it is, and there's going to be a lot of D1 college programs that are going to have interest in that young man. But he does a really good job helping this veteran pitching staff. And one of the things that Pat Miles was emphasizing to him was the fact that let the umpires earn their job and give them something to work with. You should not make it easy on them, as that one is foul tipped. Dylan Weinstein in the box, the right fielder for the Bayhawks. The sophomore is second on the team with a .396 average, and he's first with 36 hits, 9 home runs, and 29 RBI. This is one of their most lethal batters. And he goes all the way around indeed, as they appeal to the first base umpire. Back-to-back Ks for Pracio. A 1-2-3 first inning for him. A flyout followed by 2 strikeouts. And we move to the bottom of the first, a scoreless affair in Game 1 of the championship series on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching Varsity Media.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Back here at Hofstra University, so glad you could join us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We move to the bottom of the first inning. Here is the starting lineup for the Firebirds. Joseph DeSanza, the center fielder, will lead off. Andrew Noe is at third. He'll bat second, followed by the first baseman, Jaden Valdez. Michael Cotto catching and cleaning up. Richie Lavaca is at short. He'll hit fifth. Justin Diaz, the DH, batting sixth, followed by Nicholas Conway out in right field. Anthony Cantera at second is in the 8th spot, and Gavin Langner manning left field, rounding out the starting lineup. And they are going to have to deal with Kieran Dunn, the sophomore lefty, with an ERA of 7 this season, a whip of 1.65, 27 strikeouts against 13 walks. Opponents are hitting .275 off of him, as he has logged 23 innings this season. He's given up 25 runs, 23 of which have been earned. And this is a Kellenberg lineup that puts a lot of pressure on the opposing pitcher because there's so much depth in this group and experience, with the bulk of the roster from a year ago returning, that was in this spot, in this very ballpark, and outlasted Chaminade in 3 games. DeSanza, the junior, hitting .286 this season. He was 1 for 3 with a run scored when they met last Monday at Farmingdale State. DeSanza was hitting in the 9th spot, and recently Pat Miles decided to flip him and Langner. And it just goes to show you the versatility and depth, because the offense has not dipped as a result, as DeSanza's trying to swing for the fences there. 18 hits, 12 RBI. As he fouls that one off. Kellenberg had 8 hits in the previous game against St. Dominic. The Bayhawks just 4. As DeSanza continuing to fight off pitch after pitch. Kellenberg took 2 of 3 in the regular season. They lost the opener 4-1. Then the last 2 games were lopsided affairs. There's another one fouled back. 15-5 and 12-2. However, St. Dominic was a very different team when they met late April into early May, as they were plagued by injuries, and a line drive into right field is going to lead to a base hit for Joseph DeSanza, and they have put their first batter on for Andrew Noe, their third baseman, hitting second in the lineup, as he will have a runner to work with. And it doesn't get any easier for Dunn. There's Noe, a red-hot bat. He's hitting .403 coming in and is tied for first with 31 hits. He's got 2 jacks and 16 RBI. And the breaking ball misses on the outside corner. Noe was 2 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored against St. Dominic last Monday. As Dunn is keeping close tabs on DeSanza. And this is what happens when you have early base runners on. You give a young pitcher a little bit more to think about. And it's challenging enough when you've got 400 hitters in the box. And this is a lineup that does put pressure on the base paths. As Pat Miles' group will not hesitate in showcasing their aggressiveness. And once again, Dunn keeping close tabs on DeSanza. DeSanza has 2 stolen bases this season. He's looking for another, and he's going to slide in safely to second. They thought maybe they got him caught in a little bit of a rundown, and you can understand why Dunn was watching first base like a hawk, because he knew DeSanza could very well take off and tried to play catch there with Camastro, but they couldn't make a clean throw to second. And now a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. And Jaden Valdez, their top hitter on deck. Noe has been moved around second and third throughout his career. He shows bunt here. And that is going to go down as a strike. They have been very pleased with his development and maturation. He hit 125 as a freshman. You see how far he's come along over the last few years. Huge strides. And that is a big reason why he'll be taking his talents to St. John's, as Noe skips that one towards the backstop. So we are only 2 batters in, and you can see Kellenberg is driving up the pitch count for Dunn, whereas Pracio had a very efficient top of the first inning. And Noe mistimes his swing on that one as Dunn gets his first K of the day, trying to match wits with Pracio. And now Jaden Valdez will enter the box, starting first baseman. But first we'll take another look at Dunn bringing the heat and sitting down the number 2 hitter in the lineup. So DeSanza still at second, and Valdez is ahead of Noe with a .417 average. 25 hits, tremendous amount of power, 7 home runs, 28 RBI. Last season, he was just as dangerous going deep, as he hammers this one deep to left field and right in front of the warning track. Ganaris is there to make the catch. Tagging from second and heading to third is going to be DeSanza. So they'll put the potential go-ahead run at third base here for Michael Cotto, the cleanup hitter and starting catcher for the Firebirds. As you saw, Valdez put a lot behind that, but it stayed in the park. And Cotto a .310 hitter. Looking to give Kellenberg perhaps an early lead. 22 hits, a home run, and 26 RBI for the sophomore, and he's not going to make contact there. As Dunn is starting to settle in, mixing in his pitches. And if he can get out of this jam, this would be a huge victory for the lefty. And he jumps ahead of the count, 0-2. Cotto 0 for 2 with a walk when he collided with St. Dom's last Monday as he lifts one into the gap in right center field, and that is going to drop in and roll all the way to the wall. So coming in to score is DeSanza. Cotto is stepping on the gas, and he's going to slide in safely at third for a triple. And a run driven in for the Firebirds as they strike first and take an early 1-0 lead here in Game 1 of the championship series. So Dunn jumped ahead of the count, 0-2, but couldn't close the door on the cleanup hitter as Cotto located the gap and easily drove home DeSanza. And just as we saw in the game earlier in this tournament, it's Kellenberg taking an early lead. And you think about what this is going to do for Pracio, their ace, to have some wiggle room and insurance before he gets into the heart of the Bayhawks lineup. And Richie Lavaca now is going to have an at-bat, and he'll have a chance to add another run with Cotto at third. Lavaca batting .419, tied for first with 31 hits, and a slow roller to second. Muccia is there, and that will take care of the first inning. But not before Michael Cotto showcases his speed, circling the bases to third and driving in a run as Kellenberg takes a 1-0 lead over St. Dominic on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
We move to the second inning here in Hempstead, New York. Pracio getting a run from his teammates with Michael Cotto delivering an RBI triple, and that was Cotto's first three-bagger of the season. He has hit for power, and he's had a handful of doubles, but now adding to his tally, mixing in a triple. And now he is going to look to guide Pracio through inning number 2 with Ray Kim, the cleanup hitter, and shortstop, leading off with Camastro and Ackerman due up. Their top 2 pitchers who also hit in the lineup. Kim was 0 for 2 with a strikeout when he met Kellenberg last Monday as he grounds that one foul. So I was hitting on this earlier He was dealing with forearm tendinitis, an inflamed forearm. That was from lifting, and that's why they had moved him to second. He wasn't playing short because they didn't want to put extra strain on his arm, but now that he's getting closer to 100%, he is back at shortstop. Muccia is now at second, and Joe Fusco calls Kim a defensive wizard because he has just tremendous baseball IQ as he sends this one down the left field line, and that will clearly curl foul. Kim is heading to Rhode Island, as he'll be a member of the Rams baseball program. Plenty of players in each of these lineups are heading to various colleges across the board. Kim hitting .265 with 22 hits, 7 home runs, 20 RBI. The 7 home runs is second on the team, behind Weinstein, who's got 9. And the Bayhawks looking for their first hit of the day. Procio had a 1-2-3 first, a flyout, and 2 strikeouts. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Kim, and another one that he fouls off. Camastro, who is on deck, leads the team with a .403 batting average. And he's their top pitcher, so those numbers speak volumes in terms of what he provides for this team on both ends. But right now, Procio having his hands full with Ray Kim, who is having a lengthy at bat and trying to increase the pitch count for the right-hander, who has been the workhorse for Pat Miles' group. Is Cotto, you see, setting up to try to frame the pitch, and a liner into center field, and that is going to be grabbed by DeSanza for out number 1. So 4 up and 4 down for Procio, and now Camastro enters the box in the 5th spot in the lineup, the starting first baseman for St. Dominic. So we've had 2 flyouts to center and 2 strikeouts. Camastro to complement that .403 average, 29 hits, 21 RBI.
Right back to work, Kevin. Right back to work.
The sophomore is one of the ultimate competitors on the team as he pops this one up into foul territory, but it is not going to stay within the confines of University Field. Camastro was 2 for 3 with a run scored earlier in the tournament against Kellenberg. As that pitch misses outside. You think about all the things that Camastro does. He is a dangerous hitter in the lineup. Fusco could put him at first. He can lean on him on the hill. A jack of all trades, and that's why Fusco has been able to maneuver his lineup game to game. Case in point, with Dunn pitching today, needed to find spots for Ackerman and Camastro. As Ackerman is DHing in this game. Camastro working the count. The Kellenberg faithful thought that painted the outside corner, but we're going to have a payoff pitch coming. St. Dominic still trying to solve Procio. The 3-2 pitch, And that gets away from Cotto and is low and outside for ball 4. So they will have their first base runner. And this was the issue for Pracio in his last start. Even though they did cruise past Holy Trinity 11-1, he issued 5 walks. So that's where sometimes he can get in trouble. As Cotto's going to come out and chat with him because Ackerman, the designated hitter, batting .246 this season, 14 hits, 15 RBI. He was 0 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout in the first meeting between these teams within the tournament. And Hofstra fans should get used to this name because he is committed to play for the Pride. As Ackerman can put on potentially quite a show this weekend and get comfortable with the dimensions of this ballpark as he lifts one into shallow center field. Coming on and making the grab is Joseph DeSanza, laying out and flashing some serious leather to take a highlight away from the future Hofstra player. As you're going to see DeSanza calling off his infielders and going full out to make the scooping grab for out number 2. So all fly balls have gone in the direction of DeSanza. He got Muccia, he got Kim earlier in this inning as Pracio throws over to first to keep eyes on Camastro, and then Ackerman. So here is Christian Moreno, the third baseman, batting 7th in the lineup. Checks his swing, and he went around. That is strike number 1. Mike Scarry is on deck if Moreno can get aboard. As you see again, Cotto adjusting where he is positioned, and there does a very nice job of framing the pitch. And that goes back to what I talked about earlier. Pat Miles has been emphasizing that. Make the umpire work. And do everything you can to take a ball and present it as a strike, as he is very aggressive behind the plate. And a ground ball through the hole between short and third into left field for a 2-out connection. Christian Moreno records the first hit of the day for the Bayhawks, and they are now threatening with 2 on and 2 out for the 8th hitter, Mike Scarry. As here is the at-bat for Moreno, and perfectly placed it deep in the hole at short, beyond the reach of the left side of the infield, Noe and Lavaca. Scarry, first pitch, lines it into center. That is going to drop in for a hit. And they're going to hold up everyone else. DeSanza did a great job charging after that ball and throwing home to Cotto. So that is why Camastro rounded third and then headed back to the bag. But back-to-back singles here in the second has now put pressure on Pracio. And they are juiced for the number 9 hitter, Lou Ganaris. And as a result of the lineup being moved around, we have seen Ganaris in the leadoff spot. He's a .348 hitter. So if you are the Bayhawks, this is absolutely a player you want in this spot. 23 hits, 4 home runs, 18 RBI. He led off when they last played Kellenberg. He was 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. And a chance to put St. Dom's ahead. And the first pitch low and inside for a ball. This has been an eventful start to this game. Kellenberg plating a run in the bottom of the first. And now the Bayhawks threatening in the top of the second. And the 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Camastro's at third. Moreno's at second. Scary is at first. Ganaris looking to capitalize. The 1-1 pitch. And he can't make contact as Pracio went for the breaking ball. So Kellenberg is one strike away from leaving three stranded. Ganaris a connection away from perhaps doing damage. And this pitch is right on the outside corner to get Ganaris looking. Strike oppose for Kevin Pracio. He leaves the bases loaded here in the top of the second and hooks up with Cotto for an ideal frame as we take another look. And Kellenberg preserving a 1-0 lead. Off to the bottom of the second we go on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Kevin Pracio, 3 Ks through 2 innings, and the biggest one of all at the expense of Lou Ganaris. He got him looking with the bases loaded in the top of the second. As we see the outside corner perfectly located by the right-hander. And Dunn thought maybe he'd have some runs to work with. Instead, it is a 1-0 Kellenberg lead. And leading off is the designated hitter, Justin Diaz. Conway and Quintera also due up, as we will see the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters. And Diaz not wasting any time by ripping one into right. And he is on his way to second. A runner in scoring position for Justin Diaz, living up to the label of designated hitter, as Weinstein could not handle the ball out in right. And you're going to see Diaz got a great jump start out of the box, and as soon as he saw Weinstein bobble it, he took off to second base. Nicholas Conway batting .207 this season, 12 hits, 3 home runs, 17 RBI. He went yard in the first game for Kellenberg of this tournament against Holy Trinity to give them a 7-1 lead at the time. They went on to win 11-1. As Dunn's breaking ball right over the strike zone. Conway committed to AIC, American International. It's been a bit of a roller coaster season for him. Struggled early, never lost confidence though, and the last 2+ weeks he has turned the corner and has been arguably one of the team's best hitters. Pat Miles says he's seeing the ball very effectively, and it's almost as if he's playing wiffle ball, not hardball. That's how easy things have looked for him. He checks his swing there, and he went around. And tried to pull the bat real quickly, but was not going to fool the home plate umpire. And Conway is a big reason why they've gotten a spark in that 7th, 8th, 9th spot, but he's not able to ignite anything here as he goes down swinging for out number 1. Anthony Cantera, starting second baseman for Kellenberg, now up in that 8th spot, is done working the outside corner of the plate. As that breaking ball took a nice dip to fool Conway. And once again, hooking up with Scary on the outside for a strike. Cantera, a .328 hitter, 19 hits, 17 RBI. 1 home run for him. Scary gets in front of it, throws to third, and it'll be a safe arrival for Diaz as he collided a bit with Moreno, who was taken off the bag as a result. So now a potential insurance run inches closer. Cantera was 2 for 3 last Monday when these teams met at Farmingdale State. So he had a quarter of his team's hits. Gavin Langner, the 9th hitter in the lineup, is on deck, showing bunt and laying it down as they go for the suicide squeeze. And the throw to first is in time. Justin Diaz comes in to score on the sacrifice bunt by Cantera. Perfectly executed. He laid it down the third baseline and made Dunn come all the way up. So he knew he couldn't toss it to Scary at home plate. He took the out to Camastro at first, and a heck of a play there by Cantera to bring in the insurance run. It is 2-0 in favor of the number 2 seed. And here is now Langner with the bases cleared and 2 outs. The left fielder hitting .258 this season, 17 hits, 15 RBI. Langner was leading off earlier this season, then switched spots with DeSanza. This team can hit for power, play small ball, you name it. And they've already given you a taste of that here in Game 1 of this championship series. The Firebirds do not get rattled, as that is going to be a free base for Langner. And that'll bring us to the top of the order, to DeSanza. He had a base hit and stole a base in the first inning. And then came in to score on Cotto's triple to give Kellenberg the first run of the game. It has been a grind for Dunn over these first 2 innings, doing everything in his power to keep his team in the thick of things as he plays catch there with Camastro. We saw earlier in the game when DeSanza was on first, Dunn made sure to remind the base runner that he effectively read the scouting report. And now we're going to have a meeting of the minds on the hill as they'll bring in the infield along with Scary to go over strategy with 1 on and 2 out. And A reminder, you can subscribe to our YouTube page at Varsity Media to stay locked into all of our future broadcasts as we are here in Hempstead, New York on the campus of Hofstra University, University Field, the site of the 2026 Catholic League Championship Series. Kellenberg looking to defend its crown against one of the dangerous teams that has all of a sudden emerged after going 9-9 in league play. They got the 5 seed, but this is a healthy team. They were without, for a good stretch of the year, their top 2 pitchers. As this ball is lifted foul, they were without their 1, 2, 4, and 5 hitters. But timing is everything in sports, and this league has learned that regular season records don't hold as much weight, especially if you did not have all hands on deck during stretches in the regular season. And that's also why Kellenberg wasn't taking St. Dominic for granted, given the 2 lopsided wins they had in the 3-game regular season series. A payoff pitch coming here to DeSanza. He's looking for his 2nd hit of the game. But first, they continue to watch out for Langner. Dunn trying to get out of this inning and keep it a 2-run game as DeSanza lines one into center field, and now they're going to have 2 runners aboard with 2 out for Andrew Noe, who went down swinging in the first. So the bottom of the lineup, Langner getting on base thanks to a free pass, and then DeSanza coming through with his 2nd single. He's 2 for 2. And now Noe, who came into today hitting .400, will have yet another opportunity as that pitch is low and outside. As Dunn tosses it over to second. Langner able to jump back onto the bag. There are 6 different players on this team with 2 stolen bases apiece. So it's really the spread the wealth mentality of the aggressiveness on the base paths. And that is why Dunn is not taking any chances. But when you think about the base runners a lot, it does or could potentially impact your pitching and location. And they're a much-needed strike for the lefty, who has to play catch-up here against Noe. Four hits already for Kellenberg. The leadoff hitter, DeSanza, is responsible for half of them. And just like we saw with Langner, Dunn falling behind. And Valdez is on deck, who is their top hitter. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Noe, and it misses for ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Kellenberg with 2 walks and a single. And in the top of the frame, we saw St. Dominic threaded with the bases loaded. They could not capitalize as Ganaris went down looking, and Joe Fusco is not going to mess around as he pulls Kieran Dunn, and we are going to have an early pitching change here with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the second. So while this change occurs, we'll step aside as Kellenberg leads St. Dominic 2-0 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosted the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Matt DeFranza is the new pitcher on the mound for the Bayhawks. The senior who is heading to Mount St. Vincent. So they go from a lefty to a righty. And DeFranza takes over for Kieran Dunn, who only lasted 1 2/3. And this again is something to keep in mind when evaluating the options for St. Dominic. The fact that they've played 4 games in the postseason, whereas Kellenberg has only played 2. And they had to beat top seed St. Anthony's not once but twice to get into this championship series. They lost to Kellenberg 3-2 as part of the winner's bracket Monday at Farmingdale State. And that is what set up ultimately another contest against St. Anthony's after St. Dominic beat them to push the Friars into the loser's bracket. So a lot of arms have been tapped into. And that is why we saw Kieran Dunn, the sophomore, on the hill, but now a little bit more experience with a senior right-hander. And the first batter he'll have to deal with is Valdez, who flied out to left in his first at-bat. And a pitch inside that brushes Valdez back. Langner is at third, DeSanzas at second, Noe's at first. And they have a chance here to break things open. Valdez is in no rush to swing, as he is knocking on the door of 30 RBI this season. He's driven in 28. He and Richie Lavaca are heading to Adelphi. And he smokes this one deep to center field. Heading back at the wall, making the catch is Vangelatos. So DeSanza we saw earlier in the game for Kellenberg flash leather. And Chris Vangelatos says, anything you could do, I could do better. All the way back towards the warning track with a backhanded grab for a robbery to leave 3 stranded, just as St. Dominic did in the top of the frame. It stays a 2-0 game with 2 in the books on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson, you're watching Varsity Media.
Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Off to the third inning we go here at Hofstra with Kevin Prasio looking to preserve his team's 2-0 lead. St. Dominic threatened with the bases loaded in the top of the second, but he got Ganaris looking, so we'll begin with the top of the order for the Bayhawks with Muccia Vangelatos, who made that outstanding grab in center to end the second, and Weinstein. Vangelatos and Weinstein went down swinging in a 1-2-3 first. Muccia flied out to center, and he swings at the first pitch and sends that into foul territory. The other storyline in this game to monitor is this early start, 9 a.m., much earlier than any games that either of these teams have played this season. And athletes are creatures of habit on all levels as they appeal to third. They're going to say that he went around for an 0-2 count. And if you disrupt that schedule, you never know how that could impact performance. But both teams have been on point, and this time he did not go around Muccia. So his at-bat will continue. We have seen the outfielders make some nifty grabs, and Prasio has looked the part of an ace, as this one is going to head into foul territory, and a little bit of an overrun there prevented a potential catch, as both Noe and Lavaca went after the ball, and Noe looked like he had a chance, but he went all the way to the fence, and then the ball landed behind him. So Muccia, between the umpire and the foul balls, has stayed alive. This one is popped up down the left field line, back into foul territory, and another near catch as Langner lost his hat in the process, could not make the grab, accelerated a little too much. So how many lives does Muccia have? Apparently he's got 3 at least. As we take another glance at this one, Langner giving himself a chance and just could not hold on to it. And he took a hard hit into the wall as well. And this pitch is lined into center field, and that is going to bounce right in front of DeSanza for a leadoff single. Muccia with his first hit of the day. And we have seen the Bayhawks collect 3 singles in this game off of Prasio. Moreno, Scary, and now Muccia. Vangelatos went down swinging in his first at-bat. One of 3 Ks for the right-hander. The junior started the last 3 years. He's been a staple of this lineup as he takes a strike on the inside corner. And a swing and a miss as Vangelatos is trying to avoid the same fate that he suffered in the first. An outstanding defender, looking to have his bat complement his work, but first Pracio watching out for Muccia. Cotto again setting up outside, and a chopper to short. Lavaca shuffles to second. The throw to first is not going to be in time, but they get the leadoff runner out as Muccia is wiped out on the fielder's choice to short. And Weinstein will still have a runner to work with one out in the third. He went down swinging in the first. Weinstein looking for his 30th RBI of the season. Pracio has been in the zone, locating pitch after pitch and not giving gifts like we saw in his previous start against Holy Trinity. And another good frame there by Cotto as Pracio jumping ahead of the count here, 0-2. And it wasn't the walk that got him in trouble in the last inning. It was consecutive two-out singles by Moreno and Scary. And Cotto and the home plate umpire checking out first base. And they're going to say he did not go around. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Weinstein as he lifts that one over the head of Langner. That'll roll all the way to the wall. Rounding third, heading home, and sliding in safely is Vangelatos. And in at second with an RBI double is Dylan Weinstein as the Bayhawks get on the board and cut the deficit in half, 2-1. Weinstein got underneath this one and put it well over the reach of Langner, and that gave plenty of time for Vangelatos to score all the way from first. And just like that, St. Dominic showing signs of life and threatening here for the second straight inning. So they're going to chat with Pracio on the mound here. Weinstein has been one of their best hitters all season long, so it's no surprise as we see that beautiful stroke and keeping an eye on where the ball went and whether or not it was going to be a friendly carom. He was even thinking about third and then had second thoughts, but still puts a runner in scoring position and plates a run. So we said he was looking for that elusive 30th RBI. There is lucky number 30. Ray Kim is now going to enter the box. He flied out to center in his first at bat. Kim with 20 ribbies on the season, and he has an attractive opportunity to add to those numbers. And the first pitch to Kim is laced down the left field line, and that is going to land foul. The entire crowd at the edge of their seats wondering whether or not it would be a fortuitous bounce, but it could not stay to the left. And that was a similar connection to Weinstein as we're seeing the heart of the order, and Langner breathing a deep sigh of relief that he didn't have to hustle extra to chase that one down. So Pracio is a strike away from sitting down another batter here with one out in the third. And the 0-2 pitch is skied into foul territory. Another 0-2 pitch. And it sails outside. Kim is looking for his first postseason hit against Kellenberg as he went 0 for 2 last Monday. And yet another foul ball. It's the one thing that has stood out about Kim, his approach in the box. He's a patient hitter. He's got a great eye. And he will make the opposing pitcher work. And that is exactly what he is doing to Pracio. And a line drive that is going to sail into left field over the head of Langner. He couldn't haul it in. Rounding third, heading in to score is Weinstein. Back-to-back RBI doubles for Weinstein and Kim. And we've got a new ball game as we are tied at 2 here in the third between St. Dominic and Kellenberg. They have erased a 2-run deficit, testing the depths of University Field and the range of Langner as Kim watched that one go towards the wall and then easily stood up at second base, driving in Weinstein. So these two have now combined for over 50 RBI this season, and Camastro will also look to work the count against Pracio. He drew a walk in his first at-bat in the second. Connor Ackerman, the 6th hitter, is on deck. They had 3 singles leading into the at-bat for Weinstein, and now they've got 2 doubles, so they have surpassed Kellenberg. 5 total hits for the Bayhawks and 4 for the Firebirds. As we have 4 runs and 9 hits combined, and a ground ball off the body of Noe. Lavaca picks it up and still makes the play at first base. That is what you call backing up a teammate. Noe couldn't secure it, but Lavaca comes to the rescue. A hard hit ball to third. It went off of the glove of Noe, and Lavaca was deep in the hole to secure it and fire to first for out number 2. Kim did advance to third, so Ackerman could very well give his team the lead with a connection. He flied out to center in his first at bat. That was the robbery by DeSanza, who charged in. And a ground ball to first. Valdez is there. He's going to take it to the bag himself. And Pracio keeps this game tied with 2 straight groundouts to end the third. But back-to-back RBI doubles for Weinstein and Kim pull us into a 2-2 knot on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face-on, stay-on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Bottom of the third inning here at Hofstra. Game 1 of the Catholic League Championship Series between number 2 seed Kellenberg, 5th seed St. Dominic. We are tied at 2 as the Bayhawks plated a pair of runs in the top of the third with 2 RBI doubles, and that gave them a burst of life, and Matt DeFranza some wiggle room as he will come out for his first full inning and second straight frame as Kieran Dunn was pulled after 1 2/3. So DeFranza had to finish off the second as he got Valdez to fly out to center. Michael Cotto, who had a triple and drove in a run in the first inning, will look to pick up where he left off. Righty against lefty here in the box. Last season, the first ever freshman to make the varsity team at Kellenberg. And he caught for Jack Durso, who graduated, is now at Miami. A lot of great experience he gained in his first year with the program, which has set him on an accelerated course. And when I was talking with Pat Miles leading into the playoffs, they feel really good about where he is at right now, arguably the best catcher in the league, and still 2 more years for him to develop and hone his craft as he lofts one into foul territory, and that is going to be snagged by Moreno for out number 1. And a big out for DeFranza to win against the cleanup hitter in the Kellenberg lineup. Richie Lavaca now up at bat with Justin Diaz to follow. Lavaca grounded out to second in his first at bat.
Come on, Rich, lead off 3.
So he is going to remain teammates with Valdez as both of them will head to Adelphi. A lot of injuries that Lavaca had to deal with last season, specifically a hamstring, but he's been full go this year, and the numbers reflect that. And much like Noe, Lavaca also has worked his way up through the program. He created a lot of buzz when he was on the JV team. They were impressed with his knack for making contact and his competitive spirit. And since he was called up to varsity, he has been one of their most consistent players, and a big reason why they won this championship a year ago. As he gets underneath this one, sends it deep into the gap in left center field, and this flight is a round trip. Richie Lavaca flexing his muscles for his first home run of the season, and what a way to make a statement here in Game 1 of the championship series and put Kellenberg back in front 3-2. As Ganaris and Vangelatos ran out of real estate in left center. So Richie Lavaca, the starting shortstop, with a bang out of the park here at University Field. And the Firebirds, who watched the 2-run lead dissipate, now are back in the driver's seat. Diaz doubled in his first at bat in the second. And Lavaca isn't necessarily known for his power. As I mentioned, that was his first home run, and last season did not go yard, but he is going to remember this at bat on the big stage here in the Catholic League Championship Series. DeFranza falling behind in the count here, 3-0. And you knew Diaz was not going to swing at that one, seeing whether or not the right-hander can locate. Conway is on deck, the 7th hitter in the lineup. And that misses outside for ball 4. So a home run for Lavaca and a free base for Diaz. And now you're going to see Mike Scarry come out to chat with DeFranza. The second pitcher being utilized by Joe Fusco. Conway went down swinging in the second. I was talking earlier about how Conway has picked up his hitting and his offense in the last few weeks. As Pat Miles and the coaching staff were looking for the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters to be more productive, and Conway answered the call. As we have another meeting here on the hill. The Bayhawks have fought back so hard to tie this game, and then Lavaca just taking the energy out of this squad with a huge home run just 2 batters ago. As they are talking over strategy with DeFranza, who now has a runner on base after he walked Diaz. Speaking of home runs, Conway already went yard in the postseason. And it was an absolute rocket in Farmingdale. Over the right field fence. That created quite the buzz on social media. This was the final score of the game last Monday between these teams. It then became a bit of a pitcher's duel down the stretch. But we have seen 5 combined runs, and we're not even through 3 full innings. And they have also each had 5 hits. So a little bit of a different pace than the first matchup. As DeFranza behind in the count here, 2-0. A swing and a miss by Conway for strike number 1. Kellenberg, after winning the championship series last year by getting past Chaminade, went on to the state tournament at St. John's, but they lost to Canisius in the semis. So this team is not only looking to defend its Catholic Championship Series crown, but also take it a step further this year. As the runner goes, Scarry low hops it, and in safely at second is Diaz. So Conway now has a runner in scoring position. And this is what we've seen the Firebirds do all morning. Get on base, give Dunn something to think about, and now they're doing the same to DeFranza. As Diaz takes a lead from second. And the offering is grounded foul off the bat of Conway. Of the bottom three hitters, Langner drew a walk in the second. And Cantera, who's coming up after Conway, had a beautiful sac bunt that drove home Diaz from third. And the payoff pitch is grounded through the hole between third and short. They're going to send Diaz home. He slides in safely as the throw is off the mark. And then in at second is Conway. An RBI single for the right fielder, who continues to swing a big bat when they've needed it the most throughout the postseason. And this is the latest chapter. Out of the reach of Ray Kim into left field. Diaz testing the arm of Ganaris. And it is a 4-2 game. So the Firebirds were up 2-0. Watch that lead get erased and now restore a 2-run cushion. And we are going to have potentially another pitching change, and we will, as Joe Fusco is going to turn to his third different arm. So that will give us a breather. A 4-2 lead for Kellenberg over St. Dominic here in the third on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
The new pitcher on the hill for the Bayhawks is Lucas Mosman, the senior who is heading to New Haven. So Joe Fusco going back to a left-hander as Dunn started, went 1 2/3. And now he is going to turn to his third different arm, and they have yet to complete 3 innings.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now pitching for the Bayhawks, number 7, Lucas Mosman.
And he is going to come in here looking to clean up what DeFranza left behind, as Conway is at second. As he advanced to second after the throw home, but Diaz slid in. And the base running has been, I would say, a little bit overlooked in this game, given so many different facets have been in play, but between the stolen bases, between just the little fundamentals that have added up in favor of the Firebirds, it's hard to dismiss Kellenberg and how well they execute, especially when it comes to not necessarily power in their game, but small ball. And that is what Pat Miles and company preach. A big part of the identity of this team is their relentlessness. And we have seen that on full display in this game. They don't get overwhelmed. They don't get too confident regardless of the situation. Anthony Quintero, the first batter to try to solve Mosman, takes a strike on the outside corner. He was the one that laid down the bunt that brought home Diaz in the second. And now he has a runner in scoring position yet again. As that pitch gets away from Mosman. You can see Mosman, quite the presence on the hill. He's 6'2". And New Haven just moved to Division I, so he is going to be a D1 baseball player next season. Just one out here in the third inning. Kellenberg wearing down his pitching staff for the Bayhawks. As the defending champs looking to claim game number 1 of this championship series. The series will resume on Monday, weather permitting. That is why they moved this game up to 9 a.m. because rain is in the forecast for the majority of today as well as tomorrow. So it will continue on Memorial Day. Last year's series went 3 games and Kellenberg needed a walk-off. And a swing and a miss as he blows one by Quintero for out number 2. So here is Gavin Langner, 9th hitter in the lineup, drew a walk in the second. Langner has been tested out in left field, specifically in the top of the third inning when the Bayhawks scored a pair of runs. Both connections went in his direction as that liner will land foul. Langner has played a little bit of everywhere during his career. Second baseman, DH, in the outfield. As he sends this one into the gap in left center field. Giving chase is Ganaris. He can't track it down, and coming in to score is going to be another run for Kellenberg, thanks to an RBI double from Gavin Langner. And it is a 5-2 game in favor of the number 2 seed as Langner put this one all the way on the warning track. Ganaris had to turn into a circle there as he was having problems locating the ball, and sufficient time for Conway to come in to score from second base. So Mosman comes in, is rudely greeted by Langner after striking out Quintero. And now we go to the top of the order with DeSanza, who is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. And he is watching that batting average, which was 286 coming in today, skyrocket. And the 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. So Langner, leadoff hitter originally in the 9th spot, on base twice, has driven in a run. DeSanza has been electric in the leadoff spot. Pat Miles continues to push every right button, and this is part of his thinking. In the early stages of the season, he likes to experiment. That's why the last few years the team has been hovering around 500, but this experimentation doesn't work as DeSanza goes down looking here, and the third inning finally comes to an end, but not before Kellenberg reclaims the lead with 3 runs, highlighted by Richie LaVaca's solo home run his first of the season, and we take a look at the offensive spurt by the Firebirds, including Langner's RBI double to left. A 5-2 advantage on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the faceoff X 3 in a row now.
We move to the fourth inning, and it seems as if it's been ages since Prasio has been on the hill as he watched his teammates hand him back the lead 5-2 here in game one of the championship series. Moreno, Scary, and Ganaris due up, the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters. Moreno and Scary both singled in the second. Ganaris went down looking. That was the third strikeout of the game for Prasio. And he is locating the strike zone, jumping ahead of the count here, 0-2. Moreno was 1 for 3 when they met last Monday at Farmingdale State. The senior is heading to CSI, the College of Staten Island, as he pops this one up into foul territory. A 1-2 count, and another foul tip. It was the middle of the order that generated the 2 runs for the Bayhawks. Can they get things going again with the bottom tier? An even count to the starting third baseman for St. Dominic. A team that beat #1 seed St. Anthony's twice in the playoffs, which is a reminder that seeding alone does not dictate success in the playoffs. And the Bayhawks know that firsthand. They were the #1 seed. They were St. Anthony's the previous 2 years and failed to get to the championship series. So you don't have to remind Joe Fusco about seeding and how much to read into it. And his team was beat up and banged up for the majority of the season, and that's why they're not a typical 5th seed, at least from an optics standpoint. As he lines one into right field for a base hit. So Christian Moreno is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. They put the leadoff runner on, and perhaps the bottom of the order is going to pick up where it left off in the second. Because Mike Scary did the same. A .275 hitter. The junior taps one back to the mound. Pracio takes his time, a low throw, but a great scoop there by Valdez to record the out and bail out his pitcher.
Left fielder number 1, Luis Ganaris.
Ganaris went down looking, and that was with the bases loaded in the second. As the Bayhawks, if they want to play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game, they're going to look back at the at-bat here for Ganaris, as he now has a runner in scoring position, and the first pitch he sends to shallow right field. Backing up and making the catch is Cantera, and that is out number 2 here in the fourth.
Number 5, Dominic Muccia.
So we go to the top of the order with Muccia. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the third. He flied out to center in the first. Moreno is at second. And the first pitch to Muccia pushes Cotto out of the strike zone. As Muccia is going to lift this one into foul territory. And the top of the Kellenberg dugout takes a hit. As there are fans scattered everywhere through the stands, but also in the grass area behind the Kellenberg dugout. The early start has not kept the faithful away, as well as the cold, rainy weather, and a swing and a miss for Muccia. Muccia is looking to capture the varsity school record for hits, which is 108. He came into last week with 86 as he grounds one to second. Cantera is there. He records the final 2 outs of the fourth inning as the defense backing up Pracio and keeping their team up by 3 runs, 5-2 as we move to the bottom of the fourth on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching Varsity Media.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age.
Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong,
and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
So we see the fans hanging out in that grass area I was talking about behind the Kellenberg dugout, and some of these individuals come prepared, a full tent and covering to give them a comfortable view of this game in case Mother Nature adds a few obstacles in the way, as everybody's got their raincoats prepared for what is going to be a wet weekend here in the New York area. We are in Hempstead, New York, on the campus of Hofstra University, University Field. And Kellenberg, the number 2 seed, ahead of number 5 seed St. Dominic, 5-2 in game 1 of the championship series. Kellenberg has scored at least 1 run in each of the first 3 frames, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. And to start the festivities in the fourth, it's Andrew Noe, second hitter. He walked in his last at bat, went down swinging in the first. There's Mosman now out for his first full inning. He took over, and Noe took one off the leg as that ball ricocheted. So he is going to try to walk this off as he'll head back to the box. The junior seems to be okay, and his at-bat will resume here with his team up by 3 runs. Richie Lavaca with a home run in the previous frame. And Conway coming in to score on Langner's double. And Conway drove in Diaz with a base hit. So everybody chipping in from top to bottom. Noe looking to get on base for the second time. Will take a strike. He was 2 for 3 and scored 3 runs with a walk in last Monday's game against the Bayhawks. This is a player that St. Dominic knows it has to contain. He's a bit of an energizer bunny on both sides of the field. He'll send that one foul into the netting. Valdez is on deck, followed by Cotto. The 3 due up here in the fourth. Kellenberg with 3 arms taking the hill in this game already. Procio still riding high for the Firebirds. As Noe sends this one deep to right field, all the way back at the warning track, and Dylan Weinstein secures it with his glove for out number 1, as Noe thought he was going to grab his first hit of the day, and Weinstein almost ran out of space near the track and reached out right before the wall to make that grab. Valdez is 0 for 2. He flied out to left and center. He has yet to aim in the direction of Weinstein, for those of you counting at home. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Valdez had 3 RBI against St. Dominic. The last time these teams met, he homered in their first postseason game against Holy Trinity. He has been quite the force, and they are going to miss this young man as he will move on next year. Won an open competition at first base and has not looked back. Valdez facing a 2-1 count, as he will send this one into foul territory. Camastro was hoping to maybe make a play on it, but he was unable to stay in the park, and this at-bat will continue here for Valdez. Kellenberg with 7 hits to help account for its 5 runs a home run, and 2 doubles. They've also earned a few free bases. They've mixed in a little bit of everything. And we talked about off the top of the broadcast that Pracio in his last start walked 5, which didn't come back to bite him because his team scored 11 runs, but in the past it has been an area, whereas the 3 pitchers for the Bayhawks have combined to walk 3 thus far. And you do the math, averaging a walk per inning makes it that much more challenging to get back into this game. A payoff pitch coming to Valdez, and that is low and inside, so he is on base for the first time today with a walk. And Michael Cotto,
The catcher, number 24.
who had a triple in the first and popped out to third in the third, will now come up for the 3rd time, and he will meet Mosman. So this is a lefty-lefty matchup. Talked about Cotto and what he's done behind the plate, guiding the pitching staff. The other thing that he's been so effective in doing this season is picking off the opposition and throwing out base runners. Entering the postseason, he had thrown out 20. He picked off 5. So he's got a really good eye and command of the field. And once again, just a sophomore with 2 more years ahead. So he is already a 300 hitter with power. He can handle a pitching staff. He's getting better with framing the ball. His arm strength is certainly not an issue, and Cotto is going to jog to first base to move over Valdez. So Mosman getting in trouble here with back-to-back walks. And now Richie Lavaca, who homered in his last at-bat, is going to come up with 2 runners on. And we're going to have a courtesy runner here in place of Cotto. Vaca patiently awaiting a good one to come into the zone. Mosman having trouble. 2 consecutive pitches low and inside. Griffin Sharkey was the courtesy runner that came in to replace Cotto. Sharkey, a senior outfielder who they utilize as one of their pinch runners. Lavaca grounded out to second in the first.
Let's go, Richie. Right man, right spot, Richie.
There have been no clean innings for the Bayhawks on the hill. And the walks have contributed to that. Valdez and Cotto drawing 2 here in the 4th. Diaz got 1 in the 3rd. Then 2 in the 2nd, Noe and Langner. So it has been a theme. And Kellenberg has made this pitching staff pay. They can earn it themselves. The last thing you want to do is give additional free passes. And a check swing there by Lavaca. But he did not go around, so a payoff pitch coming here with a full count to the shortstop in the 5th hole here in the lineup. St. Dominic desperate to keep this a 3-run game and give their lineup a chance to mount a comeback, as we saw earlier in this game when they were down 2-0. Here's the payoff pitch and a line drive into left field for a base hit. Valdez is rounding third. He's going to easily score. Sharkey slides into third. He'll keep his hand on the bag. It's an RBI double from Richie Lavaca, who is putting on an absolute show. A home run in his last at-bat, a double to follow. He has driven in a pair, and it is a 6-2 Kellenberg lead as we see Lavaca putting it into left field, and then Ganaris couldn't handle it, and that is why they had Sharkey come in as a courtesy runner, because he was able to maintain his body positioning to secure his hand on third. And Justin Diaz takes a strike. So 2 runners still in scoring position here, with Sharkey at third and Lavaca at second. Diaz has doubled and drawn a walk. He's been on base twice. They are up to 8 hits, Kellenberg. The 0-2 pitch to Diaz sails outside. Diaz calling for time here. Surveying the field with the runners on second and third. As Kellenberg is looking to give Pracio a lot more wiggle room and flexibility. And that is why he is not in a rush to swing, knowing that Mosman has had some trouble locating the strike zone in this inning. He did already walk 2 batters. And this pitch is framed beautifully on the inside corner to sit down. Diaz looking.
Number 2, Nicholas Conway.
And a huge out there for Mosman to now make it 2 on and 2 outs for Conway, who singled and drove in a run in his last at bat, as we see Scary place that ball on the inside corner in his glove. Prior to the single, went down swinging in the second. Kellenberg has scored in every frame thus far today. They have doubled their run total from the first meeting of the postseason last Monday when they won 3-2. Conway is now in an 0-2 hole. Anthony Quintera is on deck if Conway can get aboard. And the 0-2 pitch just misses outside for a ball. We've been talking about the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the Kellenberg lineup. Very productive today. They have been on base 3 times, 2 hits and a walk. And Conway looking to add more success to those numbers. He was the 3rd straight batter to get on in the 3rd inning. And that pitch is going to nail Conway on the back, or at least it appeared it did, but he is not going to get a free base. Conway even held his back, but somehow he must have avoided that. I tell you, from the naked eye, it looked as if it may have skimmed him. Let's take another glance at this and we'll see whether or not, yeah, you know what? From that angle, it may have skipped right by him. He jumped out of the way at the very last second. But still a close call. And the payoff pitch is going to give him a free base anyway. So it delayed the inevitable, and that is the 3rd walk issued by Mosman in this inning alone. And the bases are loaded as a result. Sharkey is at 3rd, the courtesy runner Fricado. Lavacca's at 2nd, and Conway is at 1st, excuse me. And here is Quintera. He went down swinging in his last at bat. Prior to that, laid down a sac bunt and drove in a run. Quintera has a chance to take this game to a new level with the bases juiced. As Kellenberg looking for its 2nd straight inning with multiple runs, and Scary and Mosman are attempting to get on the same page as they'll have a little bit of a powwow here. It has been quite the journey for this pitching staff in this game. Kieran Dunn only went 1 2/3, then Matt DeFranza took over for him, and now we see the 3rd pitcher, Lucas Mosman. And he's run into trouble here in the 4th as a result of 3 walks and a double. The 2-0 pitch in for a strike. Again, misses inside. 3 balls and 1 strike to the 8th hitter in the lineup for the Firebirds. Who they didn't know was going to have a prominent role in the lineup this year, but he has taken second base by command, and he is going to drive in a run with his well-disciplined approach at the plate. Coming in to score is going to be Sharkey. It is 7-2 Kellenberg, and the bases remain loaded for the 9th hitter, Gavin Langner. So Lavacca is now at 3rd, Conway at 2nd, Quintera at 1st, and Langner came through with a double in his last at bat. And the first pitch nails him on the backside. So another run is going to come into score. Lavaca jogs home. And the struggles continue for Mosman as it is now 8-2 Kellenberg. And we're going to have another meeting here on the mound and a potential pitching change. And they are going to take out Mosman and bring in a new pitcher from the dugout without any warm-up. So we will step aside. It's 8-2 in favor of the number 2 seed on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email Ben at varsitymedia.net.
New pitcher for the Bayhawks is Ethan Osorio, the sophomore, who is the 4th pitcher to take over here for St. Dominic. It has been a grind for this pitching staff, and once again, not as an excuse, but Camastro and Ackerman, who are their top 2 pitchers, unavailable today. That is why they went with the sophomore Kieran Dunn, and that is because they've played 4 postseason games, whereas Kellenberg has only played 2. So it's a cumulative effect when you look at the bracket. Kellenberg stayed in the winner's circle. As the number 2 seed, they beat Holy Trinity, and then they topped St. Dominic to advance to this championship series. The 5th seed had to take a lengthier trip, including a win in a 4-5 matchup before they even got into a position to go up against St. Anthony's, who they topped not once but twice. So it has put some extra strain on the pitching staff, and today is a bit of a byproduct of them utilizing many more arms than Kellenberg. And this is a tough spot for Osorio. He's facing the top of the order here. DeSanzo, with the bases loaded, though, is going to ground out to first as Camastro ends the marathon. They batted around in the inning, and they wind up tacking on 3 more runs. It is 8-2 Kellenberg over St. Dominic, off to the 5th on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Lance Meadow back here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network as we go to the 5th inning here in Hempstead, New York. And still going strong is Kevin Prasio, who now has a 6-run cushion thanks to 6 runs being plated in the last 2 innings for the Firebirds. Leading off for St. Dominic is going to be Evangelatos, the second hitter. Then we'll see Weinstein and Kim due up. So 2, 3, and 4. And St. Dominic has to mount a rally and play from behind as they've done several times throughout this season. This is a team that has dealt with a lot of adversity. A 500 squad. Joe Fusco said he was actually pleasantly surprised that they got to 500 this year in league play, despite the fact that they were so banged up and did not have all of their weaponry available for the majority of the season. And we're not talking about complementary pieces. We're talking about 2 of your reliable arms. As this grounder goes into the glove of Lavaca at short, and he will take care of business for out number 1.
The right fielder, number 11, Dylan Weinstein.
Weinstein had an RBI double in his last at bat in the 3rd. He went down swinging in the 1st. Weinstein is such a dangerous hitter that St. Anthony's decided to intentionally walk him twice in the first of the 2 matchups between both of these teams. They didn't want any part of him. And keep in mind, St. Anthony's has one of the best hitters in the Catholic League, and you can even argue on the East Coast in C.J. Alfano. But it was Dylan Weinstein that stole the show in that game. But Kellenberg not fearing the 3rd hitter in the lineup, as Cotto and Prasio continue to be on the same page. The 1-2 pitch to Weinstein, and he gets a foul tip of that one. Weinstein and Kim hit back-to-back doubles in the 3rd. That accounted for the 2 runs for the Bayhawks. Prasio looking to get even here. And another foul connection there for Weinstein. And you can understand why St. Anthony's intentionally walked him twice, considering his numbers jump off the page. He's 1st or 2nd in nearly every category imaginable on the team, and he's top 5 in the Catholic League in all of those categories. And he's only a sophomore. It's interesting, you got Cotto behind the plate. You got 2 sophomores that are going to be the future of this league. A chopper foul. As Weinstein staying alive. He and Kim have very similar approaches at the plate. And Kim is a junior, so both of them are going to be back in the mix for Fusco. And a line drive into the gap in left center field, and Dylan Weinstein has his 2nd hit of the day. A double in the third, a single here in the fifth. And that is exactly what this Bayhawks team needed. Something to jumpstart their offense. And when in doubt, turn to Weinstein, as he shows that consistent stroke to offset the strikeout that he had in the first. And Kim now is going to look to do the same, as he doubled in the third. So he is going for his second connection after flying out to center in the second. Kim pops this one up into foul territory. The two pitchers that I was referencing that were banged up is Kim sends one deep down the left field line, and that will head foul. Was Kim and Ackerman. Those were the two arms that were not available for stretches during the season. Ackerman hurt his elbow and was dealing with elbow tendonitis. That stemmed from the winter when he was trying to get into season form. And then Kim, as I referenced earlier, the forearm tendonitis that sidelined him, and that's why he's been playing second as opposed to short, which he did reclaim today. So they were down both of those players in terms of their efficiency on the hill. And Kim gets underneath this one, sending it deep to left and watching it sail over the wall. This flight is a round trip, a two-run jack for Ray Kim. And they have cut into the deficit 8-4 as Kim gets his 8th of the season. And it has been a 1-2 punch for the Bayhawks today. Weinstein and Kim left Langner no choice but to just admire this one over the wall. And you can see the dugout very excited following that swing.
The first baseman, number 18, Tyler Castro.
So don't count this St. Dominic team out just yet. Castro will get up here with one out. Ackerman will follow. He grounded out to short in the third and walked in the second. And a ground ball to short, backhanded by Lavaco. The bouncer to first skips into the glove of Valdez for out number 2. Richie Lavaca, an outstanding play deep in the hole. He didn't rush it. He regrouped, and Valdez even more impressive on the other end. And we have seen a number of plays like that out of Valdez. All the talk about those two players' bats, and you tend to forget what they are capable of doing with the glove. And that is why the Adelphi program is going to be excited to get those two on the field together once again. Adelphi known for its lacrosse program, but we may be talking about what's going on the diamond next season. Ackerman grounded out to Procio in his last at bat, and he swings and misses. Ackerman still looking for his first hit in what will be his future ballpark. He'll be coming to the Hofstra program. He flied out to center prior to the ground out. And it'll be interesting to see what Hofstra chooses to do, because Ackerman is a two-way player. he also is one of their best arms. But at the collegiate level, we've seen players do both. It's not unheard of. And a swing and a miss. He is 0 for 3 on the day, and Pracio is cooking. Bounces back after giving up the 2-run home run to Ray Kim, as we take another look as the right-hander blows it past Ackerman. An 8-4 game as we move along to the bottom of the frame on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
An 8-4 game with Kellenberg leading St. Dominic 8-4 in game one of this championship series. Kellenberg has scored at least 1 run in each of the first 4 frames. They are looking to continue that trend here against Ethan Osorio, who now is going to start his first full inning. It's been a theme. We have seen pitchers take over multiple times in the middle of an inning. DeFranz and Mosman following starter Kieran Dunn, who only lasted 1 2/3. The good news for St. Dominic is tomorrow is an off day. So he'll at least, Joe Fusco, have a chance to rest some arms and get guys like Camastro and Ackerman ready. But if he winds up utilizing several relievers, that's another thing that you got to take into consideration, considering this is a best-of-3 game series. This pitch is driven into right field, and Weinstein is there to make the catch, putting away Andrew Noe here in the bottom of the 5th.
Number 16, Jaden Valdez.
Valdez drew a walk in his last at bat. He flied out twice prior to that. We have not had a clean inning in this game since the top of the first, when Pracio retired the first 3 batters he's faced. It has been that type of a morning, which, if this trend continues, will become an afternoon. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that one is going to head into foul territory. So I've got to give my producer and director Chris Sweeney credit, his astute observation in the break. Number 42 you're going to see on the mound, Osorio, is wearing a different jersey from the rest of his teammates, as that number is colored in gray. Everybody else has different numbers, and also St. Dominic written on the front of their jersey, as opposed to Bayhawks, which you see on the front of the jersey for Osorio. We're not exactly sure what may have transpired leading up to the game, whether or not a jersey was forgotten or damaged in some capacity. We'll let you at home speculate as much as we are. Whatever comes up on your bingo card. But the mystery continues And Osorio is doing his best here to keep this a 4-run game. Valdez grounds one foul. It would not be the first time that a high school athlete forgot a jersey, if that's the case. And once again, that is just me speculating. I'm not putting blame on Osorio in any case. I've done some lacrosse games where parents have had to rush before the opening draw or face-off to get the jersey ready. As Valdez pops this up, and maybe Osorio's going to make a play on the ball here, and he does. So even if the jersey doesn't match, he certainly fits the part of the pitcher, and that is out number 2 here in the 5th. As you see, Camastro wasn't sure whether or not he needed to come to the rescue, and how about Ethan Osorio helping his own cause? It's not an easy play for a pitcher to make, given the angle that they're coming from on the mound. And that breaking ball perfectly placed over the zone. Michael Cotto, he drew a walk in the 4th, popped out to third in the 3rd, and he tripled and drove in a run in the 1st. So Cotto is yet another batter in this lineup that is flirting with 30 RBI. As Osorio is 1 out away from a 1-2-3 frame. And the rain is starting to come down here in Hempstead, as we are seeing it on the front windows of the press box, as the breaking ball misses inside. We are a little over 2 hours into this game. As Osorio has his pitch fouled back into the netting. The umbrellas slowly coming out amongst the crowd. Everybody has come prepared as they are taking in game 1 of this championship series, with hardware on the line. And a swing and a miss for Cotto. A 1-2-3 5th for Ethan Osorio, who gets pounds and handshakes from his teammates. As we move on to the 6th inning here in Hempstead, with the reliever for the Bayhawks amped up on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosts the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and the quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We move on to the 6th inning here in Hempstead, New York, with Kellenberg doubling up St. Dominic 8-4. Game 1 of this championship series. Thanks so much for waking up early with us. A 9 a.m. first pitch. You don't see that very often, but Mother Nature had other plans today, so they wanted to fit this game in and avoid having to squeeze potentially 3 games into the early stages of next week. As Christian Moreno leading off here and swinging and missing. Scary and Ganaris will follow, and maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but if Monday does create issues, there are potential obstacles on Tuesday, given we are around the time of the year where you have graduation and proms and senior trips, the whole 9 yards. So that could present some challenges if they can't get everything done by Monday. But that is to be determined as we are into the 6th inning here. And a ground ball past Pracio into the glove of Cantera, and 1 out here in the 6th.
The catcher, number 55, Michael Scary.
Mike Scary grounded out to Pracio in his last at-bat in the 4th. Had a base hit in the 2nd. So he has 1 of his team's 8 hits. And you look at the scoreboard, each team has 8 hits in this game. But the 8 have translated to 8 runs for Kellenberg, and maybe this is number 9, and it will drop in for Scary. His bat living up to expectations, and he slides in safely at second for a 2-bagger. Conway made a play on the ball, was unable to secure it, and Scary putting himself in scoring position for the Bayhawks, who are not done in this game at all. And Mike saw that Conway couldn't make the grab and took off and snuck underneath the close tag. Here is Lou Ganaris, popped out to second in the 4th, went down looking in the 2nd. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters for St. Dominic have combined for 4 hits in this game. 3 singles and a double. So to put things in perspective, they have just about half of St. Dominic's production. Weinstein and Kim have driven in a handful of runs. Weinstein had an RBI double, and Kim a 2-run home run to go along with his own RBI double. So they have accounted for the 4 runs in this game. Can somebody else come through? Pracio snagging it out of thin air off the bat of Canaris and nearly picking off Scary at second for an inning-ending double play. The glove work by the right-hander. The quick reaction to put his team 1 step closer to a Game 1 victory. Heck of a reflex by Pracio, as those balls come at you fast after you deliver them. And not only did he grab it, but he had to reach up a little bit, as that liner had some height on it. So here is the top of the order with Muccia. And Muccia lines out to second, where Quintera is awaiting. Back-to-back line drives that go into the gloves of the pitcher and the second baseman. And Pracio gets around a 1-out double from Mike Scary, thanks to defense. Quintera backing up his starter as we go to the bottom of the 6th on the Varsity Media.
to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off X 3 in a row now.
Bottom of the 6th inning here in Hempstead, New York. Lavaca, Diaz, and Conway due up. Ethan Osorio, the sophomore, an impressive showing in the last inning. The first clean inning for St. Dominic. He got Noe, Valdez, and Cotto. A fly out, a pop out that he caught, and a strikeout. Lavaca, his last 2 at-bats, he's homered and doubled. As he is putting the finishing touches on an impressive career with Kellenberg. Not that Pat Miles is worried about next season, but he is going to lose Valdez and Lavaca along with Conway. So there will be replacements that are going to have to fill the voids. Cantera is also a senior. They're going to lose Parisi on the hill as well as Pracio. So their top 2 arms. But the one thing about both of these programs is they get players ready. And a lot of these Catholic League teams have freshman teams and JV teams. So that enables them to really groom these players over multiple years so that it's a natural transition when an underclassman has to step in. And that's why you think about Kellenberg, the luxury to have Cotto starting since his freshman year. And you have the same backstop helping you. And speaking of long balls, this flight is a round trip. Richie Lavaca with his 2nd homer of the game. A pair of solo shots. He didn't have any jacks coming into today. He's got a pair. And Kellenberg maybe putting up an early dagger as it is a 9-4 game here in the 6th. And they are greeting Lavaca with enthusiasm as we see this ball rocketed out of University Field. And Ganaris knew he was not going to get a play on this ball. So the Richie Lavaca show. 2 home runs and a double. And he is single-handedly lighting up the scoreboard. 9 hits, 9 runs for Kellenberg. Diaz went down looking in his last at-bat. Drew a walk and doubled prior to that. So after a 1-2-3 5th inning, Lavaca had other plans here in the 6th. Kellenberg now tripling its run total from last Monday's game when they won 3-2. The most runs that the Bayhawks have scored during this postseason run is 6. And they did that, interestingly, twice against the #1 seed St. Anthony's, as Diaz was hit on the arm by that pitch.
Right fielder, number 2, Nicholas Conway.
So Conway comes up. He drew a walk in the 4th, singled in the 3rd, went down swinging in the 2nd. He shows bunt, but does not like the offering, so pulls it back. St. Dominic put up 4 runs in the win against St. John the Baptist in their first playoff game, and then 2 against Kellenberg. So they've had mixed results, as that one grounded foul. Kellenberg, on the other hand, 11 runs against Holy Trinity. Then 3, as I just referenced, by topping St. Dominic, and now 9 today. So in just 3 games thus far, they have put up 23 runs. And a swing and a miss for Conway. Whereas St. Dominic has plated 19 runs in their 4 playoff games. And now you could tack on 4 to that here in game number 5. So they have needed 2 extra games to get to 23. Ascari's going to throw over to first, and Diaz able to get back to the bag. Kellenberg up by 5 runs thanks to Lavaca's 2nd home run. They have scored in all but 1 frame this afternoon. And a ground ball to second. Muccia throws to second. There's 1 over to first, not in time, but they'll get the leadoff runner on the fielder's choice.
Second baseman, number 13, Anthony Cantara.
Anthony Cantara, a walk in the 4th. Went down swinging in the 3rd and laid down a beautiful bunt that plated a run in the 2nd. Runner goes. Scary tosses to second. Coming over from short is Kim, and not able to place the tag on Conway. Conway with his 5th stolen base as Osorio misses inside. The Bayhawks are going to have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up in the top of the 7th as Osorio making Conway think twice as to whether or not he wants to take a lead from the bag. As Cantara not able to make contact there. 2 balls and 1 strike to the 8th hitter in the lineup for the Firebirds. He has been on base once. Can he make it twice? As that will lead to a souvenir for a youngster on the grass area outside University Field. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And high for ball 3. The payoff pitch misses inside for ball 4, so Quintera back-to-back walks for him. And now Langner comes up. He's been on base 3 times. He walked, he doubled, he was hit by a pitch. All in that order. This has been some day for the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters, who have been very active on the base paths, and that breaking ball sinks into the inside corner. We go to the top of the order with DeSanza on deck. Langner's brother Ryan was on the team last year when they won the championship series. Also a left fielder as he grounds one to Camastro. Was thinking about throwing over to second. Instead, will run to first for the second out of the inning.
The center fielder, number 22, Joseph DeSanza.
DeSanza grounded out to the pitcher in his last at bat. Went down looking in the third, singled in the second as well as the first. So he started out 2 for 2. Since then, 0 for 2. He's got a pair of runners in scoring position, with Conway at third, Quintera at second. The 1-0 pitch is popped up towards foul territory, and that is going to head right behind the Kellenberg dugout, where somebody is going to walk away with a prize. $18 hits, 13 runs between both of these teams here in the bottom of the 6th. And a ground ball towards second. Muccia is there. The wide throw to first is not handled by Camastro. 1 run comes in to score. Another will follow as Conway and Quintera head home, and they have put double-digit runs on the board. It's 11 for Kellenberg as the mishap leads to another offensive outburst for the Firebirds, and they are running away with things here with a 7-run lead. You're going to see Muccia threw it wide to first, and Camastro tried to keep his foot on the bag, could not hold on to the ball, so that enabled both runners to come in from second and third. Noe has flied out in each of his last 2 at-bats, both to right field. He drew a walk in the second. He went down swinging in the first. So he's 0 for 3 with a walk. This ball is driven into foul territory, as Noe is smiling that off because he was thinking about swinging for the fences. The problem is the fences are the opposite way. So Noe seeing his .403 average dip today as a result of not having a hit. But he has a chance here to salvage the day with 1 on and 2 out. And a swing and a miss, and Osorio ends the inning. But it was Richie Lavaca that led off the frame with a solo shot to spark another 3-run frame for the Firebirds. They've done it 3 times in this game, and that is the latest exclamation point. His second solo shot, 11-4 as we head to the top of the 7th on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching Varsity Media.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Evan Williams is the new pitcher for Kellenberg, taking over for Kevin Proscio, who went 6 strong. St. Dominic putting up 4 runs on 9 hits, but Proscio did a good job keeping their lineup in check. And it is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. Vangelatos, Weinstein, and Kim. Vangelatos grounded out to short in his last at bat in the 5th. Prior to that, fielder's choice to short, and he went down swinging in the 1st. Evan Williams will have a chance here to put the finishing touches on this game. A ground ball to third. Noe moves to his left, and we have 1 away.
Right fielder, number 11, Dylan Weinstein.
Weinstein with hits in each of his last 2 at-bats. Singled in the 5th, an RBI double in the 3rd. He was a handful for Proscio. Williams now getting his first look at him. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Weinstein, and Williams having some trouble finding the strike zone. And now bounces back here by forcing a pop-up, and Valdez is there in foul territory for the catch. 2 away. And St. Dominic now down to its final out here in Game 1 of the championship series. Ray Kim has driven in 3 of the 4 runs today. 2-run home run in his last at bat. Takes a strike. An RBI double prior to that in the 3rd. As he hammered one over the left field wall. That was his 8th of the season. Kim and Weinstein have combined for 17 long balls this year, as they are neck and neck, 1 and 2. And Kim now down to his final strike, as the defending champs are looking to take a 1-0 series lead. The 1-2 pitch, downstairs and outside. Twos across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A fly ball to center. DeSanza is there. A 1-2-3 7th inning for Evan Williams, as he and Procio get it done to help Kellenberg secure an 11-4 victory in Game 1 of the championship series. The Bats supported the cause, with Richie Lavaca hitting a pair of home runs with a double sandwiched in. DeSanza had a pair of singles, and the bottom of the order, the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters getting on base multiple times. A team effort, and it is now Kellenberg with a 1-0 series lead, 1 win away from securing their 2nd straight championship. As that is going to wrap up our coverage of Game 1 here in Hempstead, New York. It was quite the battle royale, but it was cruise control for Kellenberg. Executive producer Ben Turchin, technical director Chris Sweeney, camera operators Pablo Pachucho and Peyton Brophy. I'm Lance Meadows saying so long from Hofstra, as Kellenberg takes Game 1 11-4 over St. Dominic on the Varsity Media Sports Network.